Actually, I'm not Omnicar. My name is Morten, and I'm the former financial editor on the Business Daily in Denmark Børsen. And later on, Omnicar CEO will arrive to the States. But first of all, we'll show you a little video where Omnicar is presented. So please.
Omnicar is a software company that has developed a solution for the auto industry. Our solution enables dealers and repair shops to calculate, manage and invoice the complicated service agreements they need to make in the future to sustain their business. Omnicar was founded in 2016 and we IPO'd on Aktietorget in July 2017. The auto industry will go through a lot of changes the next 5 years. Actually, it has been said that the next 5 years will bring more changes than the prior 50 years. Cars, they look more and more like each other. They are produced in the same factories. Also, car doesn't break down as often as they used to do. So the frequency where people they visit their auto dealer are going down. They also need to sell more services. They need to sell more after sales. And they need a solution that can support that. And currently Omnicar's solution are the only solution available on the market that can support this new change for the auto industry. The advantages are huge because if you sell a service agreement to a customer, you know that you have a fixed revenue the next 5 years. You have a tight loyalty towards the customer. You have the opportunity to sell extra services, and the chances of reselling a new car are extremely high when you have a service contract with a customer. It's actually so that if you have the ability to sell 10 to 12 service contracts every month, the revenue you will see within 5 years will exceed more than 5 million Swedish kronor a year if the service contract has an average value of 500 kronor. So it's a lot of money you can make by selling service contracts. We have seen a huge interest from our market towards our company and our product. Initially, we estimated that the market segment was car dealers and workshops, but in fact we have also seen huge interest from some of the large workshop repair shops and chains in Scandinavia. Next year we will add more features such as more traditional CRM features to our product. We will also begin the work of launching vertical solutions such as vertical solutions for motorbike, trucks and other kind of related areas to the auto industry. In 2020 we will definitely be a global company. We will have offices around the world. Currently we have requests from Asia, UK and other parts of Europe, so there's no doubt that our expansion will increase to those areas as well. Omnicar is a young company and we will be met by unforeseen challenges over the years, no doubt about that. But we have a strong team, we have a strong management, and we are ready to fight back, and we are ready to meet any unforeseen challenges that will meet us going forward.
Yes, Klaus, please come to the stage. Could you tell us, Klaus, just shortly, what is the business case in Omnicar? What are you exactly doing for the car dealers?
Yes, and thank you for coming today. We have a great company in Omnicar. Our history actually goes back to 2012, where we began working for PSA Group. The PSA Group are the ones that manufacture Citroën and Peugeot. And they had a huge challenge, and one of the biggest challenges they had was that it was hard for them to maintain the relations between the customer after they bought a car until they should have their first service, or they had to visit their workshop to get a service, or eventually when they were going to buy a new car. They had no instrument to manage that challenge. So they asked us, is it possible for you to build a solution that enables dealers to calculate the service contract, to manage the service contract and invoice the service contract. And we did that, and over a time frame of only 3 to 4 years, we managed to sell more than 250 million service contracts for the PSA Group. And that was in 2016. And when we saw that huge revenue increased, we said to ourselves, well, every dealer globally, every workshop globally should have this tool so they are able to sell service contract, because consumers want service contracts. We see that consumers, they want to subscribe to Netflix, they want to subscribe to Spotify, they want to subscribe to everything. They also want to subscribe to have their car serviced. Of course they want to do. They want to know their fixed cost over the years, and but the workshops, they don't have the instrument to create the service agreement.
But what's the status today in your company? Do you have a product in the market? Yeah.
Well, when I was here 1 year ago, and that was just before our IPO, and what I said at that time was that we wanted to take our solution we developed to the PSA group and convert that to a solution everybody could use, and then we wanted to start selling the product. So we spent the second half year of 2017 to develop the product, and from 1st of January we started to selling the product, and today, as we speak, we have more than 300 dealers who are using our platform.
You was listed on Aktietorget in July last year. First, it went pretty well up, and then it went a little bit down, and now it's around 12, I think. What's the story about that?
Well, first of all, I don't look at the share price. What I look at is the company's performance. And yes, we listed at a price at 5.7, and now we are at 12, which I think is pretty good. That's a 100% increase over a year, and I think that is okay. But the company is basically more strong than ever. We are filled up with self-confidence. We are building a global company. We have requests from UK. We have one of the biggest workshop chains in Europe, Bosch Car Service, as a customer. We have the biggest auto dealer in Denmark as a customer. We have the biggest authorized dealer in Denmark as a customer. We have just signed an agreement with the Danish associations of car dealers with over more than 2,000 dealers. So we are really on a fast track. I said in the video that we will launch new verticals next year. In fact, we are already now launching new verticals for commercial vans and for motorbikes. So it's really going in the right direction.
What are the possibilities? You mentioned motorcycles, commercial vans, but what about boats, other things?
Yeah, and that's basically a good question, because what we have seen is that the solution we have created, if you look at the general software market, you have CRM solutions, you have ERP solution managing financials, you have inventory solutions managing inventory, but you don't have a standard managing service agreement that can create customer loyalty. So that's the solution, that's a software we are going to the market with. And basically every industry can use our software. It could be bikes shops, it could be Hauswagen, it could be everything that needs a service, everything with an engine, everything that has a number can use our product.
And that sounds like a good story, but what about the money? Do you earn money now, or?
It's a great story. Alone in Europe for the car industry, the market for service agreement exceeds 50 billion kroner. 50 billion kroner alone within the car industry. And currently there's no major players in this area. No players at all. We have no competition. It's like a dream, it's blue ocean. We don't have any software developers that have developed a platform like ours. So that's just within the car industry, and then you have all the other industries. And no, we are not making money. Definitely not, because we are a global company. We want to achieve our global ambitions. We are not going to make money for the next 2 or 3 years. I can promise you that, because that's not our focus. Our focus is to generate a lot of revenue, generate a lot of users, a lot of customers, and when we have like 10 to 20 or 30,000 customers, then we will start making money. But it's not an objective for us for making money. Facebook didn't make money the first many years. Twitter is still not making money, but they have a huge market value. So we are not in the making money business right now. We are in here to basically to gain a lot of customers while there's big momentum, and then eventually we will make money.
But could you please explain how are you going to make the money? exactly how in the deals?
Yeah, in our business model is we have developed an attractive business model that is a win-win, because the dealers, they pay the majority of their license fee out of their service contract they have. They pay 5% of their service agreements portfolio in commission to us. So if they have a big portfolio, they get a lot of money themselves, and we also get a lot of money. If they have less service contract, they pay less money to us. So we gain money out of the total accumulated service contract value we have in our portfolio. And what we see right now is the speed that we are adding into new service contract is a 7% increase week by week by week by week by week. And you can do the math yourself, but if you say 1,000 service contracts times 500 kroner times 200 dealers, that's a huge amount of money on recurrent-based revenue, month by month by month by month by month.
You're talking about investment in the future. Are you going to raise more capital? And if yes, when and how and where?
Yes, we will absolutely raise more capital going forward, because we have, as I said, big ambitions, and we will also, after this summer vacation, launch an end-user portal where end users, they can buy service contract. Alone in Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and England, there's more than 500,000 monthly searches on services related to workshops. Over 500,000 monthly searches. 500,000. All those searches are not being caught by anyone. Because how do you expect a small dealer with 2 or 3 or 5 mans to have an organization that can capture this new consumer behavior? That's impossible for them. So what we want is we want to capture those services. We want to direct those customers to our platform, enable the consumer to make their service agreement. Alone in Scandinavia, we have more than 9 million cars. They can make the service agreement on our platform, and we will then deliver the service agreement to a dealer in the consumer's region.
And back to the question.
Yeah.
Are you going to raise more capital?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how and when? Are you continued being listed on the Aktietog?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We are very happy with our platform on Aktietog. It's a great platform. They are easy to work with, so we're happy about that. But I cannot say whether it's going to be end this year or next year. That will influence the business plan for next year.
When are you going to achieve the goals you're talking about? You're talking about Omnicar as a global company, but when?
This year, our ambition this year is to get 1,000 dealers as a customer, and
in Denmark or
in Denmark, and that will definitely happen. There's no doubt about that. We have employed our new country sales manager for Sweden, and he will begin next month. And next year we will probably have around 4,000 to 5,000 dealers, and then in 2020 we will have 10,000 dealers, and then hopefully hit a recurrent revenue of 100 million Swedish kroner.
Where do you see the market? Is it Germany? Is it France? Is it England? Is it the US?
Alone in Europe, as I said, alone in Europe, we have had a management consulting company who have analyzed the market for us. There's a consulting company called Frost & Sullivan, and they have estimated the market value alone in Europe, as I said before, to more than 50 billion kroner. So it doesn't really matter whether it's going to be Lithuania, Sweden, England, Germany, because the trends are the same. Consumers, they are going online to buy their services. Dealers are losing money, and why? Because cars, they don't break down as often as they used to do. People, because of all the safety equipment that are being implemented in cars, they have less accidents, so the frequency where people meet their workshops are low, and that basically force the workshop to invent new business areas, and that is where he needs our software.
One of the most important things when you're talking growth is having the right team around you. Do you have that?
Yes, absolutely. We have a great team of very experienced people around us. Our sales director, he was working for eBay Motors for many, many years and have been in the industry for more than 16 years. Our product manager has been working for PSA and he began his career when he was 16 in a traditional workshop. Our chief technology officer has been with Capgemini for many, many years, so we have a top experienced team.
What about your chairman? Who's that?
Our chairman is Jens Åløse from TDC in Denmark, the largest telephone company in Denmark, listed on the stock exchange in Copenhagen as one of the most valuable companies among the C25 on the stock exchange in Denmark.
Yes. Maybe there are some questions.
Is it okay to have multiple questions?
Sorry?
Is it okay to have multiple questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
First, you mentioned so you get a commission on each value of a service contract. Is that right?
I get what's the commission of the value. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so is there a setup fee or installation fee for each new?
Yes, yeah. They pay 5,000 Danish kroner to get started, and then they pay 100 kroner fixed every month.
Okay, and then you get the commission additional.
And then we get the commission, yeah.
What's the average value of a service contract that is signed?
It's 450 Swedish kroner.
Per month or?
Per month. And the length, which is also quite amazing, the average length is more than 52.5 months. Over 50 months in the average length. We have actually customers who signed up just a few months ago. They already now have accumulated a portfolio of service contracts at a value of more than 2.5 million kroner just within a few months.
And how many do you have signed up today?
So far we have like plus 300 running on our platform, dealers.
And they have several.
Yeah, and they have a lot of, of course they have a lot of service contract, in total.
When a dealer enters a contract with you, what's the time frame of that? Is it a minimum of 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years? Or?
The contract terms, it's minimum 1 year, some are 2 years, and then they have to terminate the contract within 3 months of expiry, and then it's automatically renewed.
Okay, and when a dealer uses your service, is your service exclusive, which means they don't have any other software options that does the same functionality as you have?
Currently, there's no software available that can do the same. And the thing is that we don't even want to contractually bind the dealer to us, because if they have 400 customers or 500 customers where they got all their credit card information, they simply have no way of, it's going to be very hard for them to switch to another vendor.
What's your staffing requirements? Do you think you need to add much more staff, or you think you can keep it as it is now?
We will definitely need more staff, but there will be development because we still have a lot of development to do in terms of our new ambitions with the customer end user portal. And then when we are into new markets, we need local staff as well.
And do you have insurance for the information that you're carrying and curating for the dealers?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Welcome. Other questions?
Yep, up there, Frederick. Wait, you will get the microphone so everybody can hear.
I've seen in the information from the company that you are delaying the annual report, or the STEM, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Årsstämman.
Årsstämman, tack. What is the particular reason for this?
It's because the Danish accountant and the Swedish accountant are not working as effectively as we wish to do. There's a lot of legal and a lot of accountancy involved from Denmark and Sweden, and there's just been a delay. It's administration. Okay. There's no reason behind it besides that.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Other questions?
Yeah, I have one. You mentioned earlier, Klaus, that you had an ambition to have 1,000 contracts in Denmark by the end of this year, if I understood.
Yes.
you. Where are you now? And you also mentioned that you have hired a sales manager for the Swedish market. What is the overall potential for Sweden compared to Denmark? If your ambition is to have 1,000 in Denmark, is it 1,000 or 1,500 in Sweden, or is it below the Danish market? Is it more mature in Denmark than it is in Sweden for the time being for this kind of service?
No, because we have already been approached by several of the big workshops in Sweden who wants to implement our solution. So I'm quite confident that the Swedish market will present the same acceleration as the Danish market. And we are at 1,000 customers end of this year, and currently we have we have more than 1/3. So we have done that. That's quite amazing, actually. We have done that with one salesperson.
But maybe the Swedish card don't break down as often.
Yeah, that's even more important to get a service contract, because then you lose the attachment to the customer. But what we have accomplished this year in terms of sales has been done with one salesperson. One. From 1st of June, we have a sales team of 5. So one person has generated what we have done today. From 1st of June, we have 5 salespeople. Imagine the acceleration that will happen then.
Can you describe what is a service contract? Do they call you when it's time to change from winter tires to summer tires, or to change the windscreen wipers, or what is the typical content of a service contract?
The thing is that you probably have tried it yourself. You have a car, and the car needs a service. So either you have a relationship with a workshop yourself, or otherwise you will go to the Google and Google car needs service. In Denmark, we have something called Autobottler. I think you have it in Sweden as well. More than 100,000 offers was generated on getting a quote for service last year. So you will do that, and then you will visit your workshop, and the workshop will say, hey, why don't you get a service agreement? Then you know that for 100 kroner, a fixed amount every month, you'll get your oil changed and your wipers and your filters, and we will maintain the car so it keeps its value. And besides that, by the way, now that you are here, what do you do when you change your summer tire to winter tire? Why don't we do that for you? You can store your tires at our place, and we only charge you 30 kroner for that. So that brings the service contract from 100 to 130. Hey, and now that you're here, what do you do with road assistance, by the way? How do you manage road assistance? Do you have any subscription for that? No, I don't. Well, I can actually offer that, because we have a close collaboration with a road assistance company that will add 50 kroner to the service contract. Hey, now you're here. What do you do when it's springtime? How do you maintain your car? Why don't you come down to us? We can add in a feature for that. It's 25 kroner. And by the way, we just introduced, we can come and pick up your car and deliver it while you're at work. That will be like 20 kroner. So in that way, the dealer can increase his share of wallet from the consumer, and that will make him more. That will make more revenue for him, and he will secure that he gets the contact to the end user for a long time of period. And that's a challenge they have today, that they're losing their customers. Consumers are not showing loyalty to the workshop at all. They're just browsing around where they can get the best offer. So that's how it works.
Good, thank you. Any other questions? Yes, we have one more. Frederick, please.
Just one follow-up question. In 2017 Q4, how many service contracts were sold in the last quarter last year?
Sorry, can you repeat?
In the last quarter last year, how many service contracts were sold through your system?
Service contracts?
Yeah.
So how many service contract was generated by our dealer?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't give you that number right now, sorry. Yeah. Because that would be considered as some sort of insider information, and I think Architol, they'll be a little bit upset about that.
Okay. What about the expansion? I think I've seen or I've heard UK as a good potential market, or is it the market where you're already existing and present?
Well, as I mentioned before, we made a contract with Bosch Auto Car Service earlier this year, and initially they wanted us to expand the contract to Sweden, but they just have been approaching us and asked us if it's possible that we can enter the UK market faster and already this year. So the biggest challenge for a company like us is to manage our growth, to make the right decisions in terms of where we're growing. So that will be an important part of the decisions we are going to make the next few months.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Any-
I think.
Anything more to add from your side?
No, actually, I think we are done.
Yeah.
If there's not any more
Klaus,
questions.
anything more that you would like to add now when you have the attention of the audience here?
No, well, if I should round off, I would say that if you are looking at a company like a startup company like Omnicar, of course I know that there will probably be a lot of decision criteria you have to evaluate before you decide whether you should invest or not invest. And I think one of the great thing about Omnicar is that, well, we have proven that we have a solution that works and can generate money for our customers. And that is number one for me. If you have a solution that actually demonstrates its value to its customers, you have a future. If you also can manage to sell the solution, then it's even better. And we have that. Well, we have a solution that can generate revenue for our customers. We have sold a lot of solutions to a lot of customers. And finally, I will say that our solution is scalable. Direct scalable, not only within the auto industry, but within a lot of industries. And if we just get near what I'm saying today, I think a company like Omnicar will be a great investment going forward.
Thank you very much. Tack så mycket.
Thank you.